Huh. Hello, my friends, spirited gang. Wonderful to be with you again. Deborah Roth, Spirited Living. And we are just one day before the Aquarius new moon. Actually, it's 2 days. I think it's on Friday. But I'm doing my new moon circle, my Aquarius new moon circle tomorrow night. And as it happens, the goddess that popped up, that raised her hand and wanted to be highlighted this week, is one that's very connected to Aquarius. Aquarius, among other things, is the inner rebel. It's where we're unique and bold and eccentric, and where we really claim our eccentricities and our unique gifts. And we won't be bringing her into circle tomorrow night, but she's a great one to really start to open up to. So Freya is the Norse goddess of love. She's kind of the Norse, the northern country, the northern European equivalent of Aphrodite. And I knew somewhat about her. I knew that's where Friday came from. Friday is named after Freya. You can see her spelling in the description. But she's so much more than a love goddess, and she has so much wonderful mythology around her, and symbology and energy. So I really invite you to explore her as I've done, and I'll give you just a little bit of what I found. And so she's the goddess of love, of sex, of playfulness and celebration and passion. And she's also, which is kind of interesting, she's also the goddess of, or one of the major goddesses of death. She was the one who welcomed fallen warriors. They were called something specific. Let me see if I can find it. The weapon dead in Norse mythology. She kind of got first pick of them into her afterlife, which was called Folkvang. And most of us have heard of Valhalla, which was ruled by Odin, who is the god of the dead and many other things in Norse mythology. So she's got this rich mythology to her. And she's actually, and you see this in just about every pre-Christian, Christian story about all these different gods and goddesses. And if you ever read some of those wonderful mythology books when you were younger, the gods and goddesses of the Norse gods and goddesses and the Greek gods and goddesses, I just bought some for my granddaughter. They will stay with you. And like so many of them, there were pre-Christian and post-Christian stories around them. And as you can imagine, there is a patriarchal version of one of Freya's many stories, and there's a feminist one. Guess which one I'm going to share with you. So Freya is, she's known as the Vanadis, and that means she's the lady of the Vanir. And the Vanir were one of two major tribes of deities in Norse mythology, in the Norse pantheon, if you will. The other one were the Aesir, and there's so many stories of conquering nations or conquering religions taking over goddess-worshipping religions. And it was actually the other one, the Aesir, I believe that's how you pronounce it. There was a big fight between the Aesir and the Vanir, and Freya, still, she's probably one of the best known of the Norse gods and goddesses to this day, and she rose up to have her own energy and her own power. I'm actually wearing, I don't know if you can see them, I'm wearing my little, my naked angel, my naked, because she's sexy and all about love and passion. She would have been great for Athene. My little angels would have been great for Lilith last week too. So invoke, and of course we have Valentine's Day coming up, and I guess that wasn't obvious from the very beginning that I wanted to play with some different love goddesses other than Venus and Aphrodite, which we all know about, and Freya being one of them. So she, in her energy of honoring love and our sexuality and our passion, she really reminds us to love ourselves and to have deep self-awareness around and have our own have a real strong sense of self-worth around our beauty and our sexuality. So one of her one of the other big things too, which is kind of cool, she is the archetype of the vulva, which sounds like something else, but it's actually the vulva were practitioners of Sadir, which is a particular very organized form of magic that of Norse magic, and they were seers and sages and wise women. And during the Viking Age, the vulva were honored as prophets. Prophets. Their particular kind of magic was really entering trance states and delivering prophecies or forecasts about what was coming up. So she had that intuitive, very strong intuitive energy to her as well. And one of her big myth. I'll show you some pictures of her. This is her with one of her cats. Apparently, she rode a chariot across the Rainbow Bridge, drawn by huge cats. Although most of the places that I learned about her, she has a connection to the sow, to the mother pig. So, these are all incredibly evocative when you think about all of the things that we can do over the next couple days to honor our own self-love, to honor our own self-worth, all of those things that we embrace and that we want to remember as we get closer to Valentine's Day. And one of her stories, and it's actually depicted, this is, again, one of my early statues that I got, make it so everybody can see her. I'll put her in front of my moon plate. And this is her smiling, which is kind of nice, and she's surrounded by this gold torque, which is called the Brisingamen, and it's this beautiful necklace that was crafted by 4 dwarfen smiths. And when she saw it, because she's such a lover of beauty, she had to have it, and they were not willing to sell it because it was so extraordinary and so beautiful. And she bargained with them, and the feminist version is that the exchange that she made, they requested and she accepted, was that she would sleep with each one of them, and by so doing really encouraged them to embrace their own sexuality and their own passion, and was able to get this beautiful necklace in exchange. The patriarchal version is that she kind of had to hold her nose to do that, and that she was actually unfaithful. Sounds like a very patriarchal thing when women are being sexual. And her husband was so upset that he ran away, and one of her big things is that she cries golden tears. So you can I love the version where she empowered these little men who might otherwise not have had the greatest self-esteem, sadly. And I love that version. It shows that she's reminding all of us to really honor and love our own beauty and our own sexuality. So what I would love to do for you is share, I keep finding these fun chants, and I know so many chants, but when I've been looking very specifically for a chant the last couple weeks, I found the wonderful one last week with Bridget. I guess Lilith was 2 weeks ago. And this one, see if I can remember it all. The words are a little bit, they're a little, fold it up so I can see it better. It's a little tongue twisting, but I'll do my best. So this is a chant if you want to invoke Freya as we get closer to Valentine's Day. Freya, Freya, Vanadis, Vanadis, Freya, Freya, Vanadis, Vanadis, Mardal Val Freya Seith Kana, Maldor Val Freya Seith Kana, Freya, Freya, Vanadis, Vanadis, Freya, Freya, Vanadis, Vanadis, Maldor Val Freya Seith Kona, Maldor Val Freya Seith Kona. So, and what that means, it's Freya, Freya, Vanadis. Remember I said she was the lady of the Vanir, the Vanadis. And it means Freya, Freya, Vanir goddess, light on water, victory, Freya, sorceress. That is her in her prophetess mode. So embrace that and take some time as well to embrace your own self-love, your own feelings of self-worth, your own ability to honor your sexuality and your passion and your self-love, so that you can spread it more easily to others on this Valentine's Day and beyond. So thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this little journey with Freya, and if you want to sing the Freya song, just keep listening. It's a little, and I can send the words, but yeah, maybe I'll post them like I did last week. Thanks so much for being with me, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a beautiful Aquarius new moon tomorrow. And I hope you'll, if you want to join in for that, for my sister circle, my Zoom, my new moon Zoom room, in my new moon Zoom room, definitely reach out to me and I'll give you the details. Namaste. Bye for now. Have a beautiful week.